guys, and welcome back to the Money Talk series. Today we're going to be talking about fencing, but first, we're trying to preserve the scene of the crime, okay? A couple days ago, we had some very unexpected visitors very, very close to home, which was a pack of wolves. So this here, we think, we're pretty positive, is the wolf track. Whereas this, if you want to look a little bit at the comparison, this is one of our dogs. So this one has a little bit of a loopy here. It's a little bit elongated, straighter nails. This is not loopy, fat paws. So yeah, so anyway, this brings us into our fencing talk because one of the main upgrades that we've had to do since we came to the farm was fencing. So come with me and I'm just gonna give you a little view of what the fencing looked like everywhere when we first got here, which was pretty much, let's not fall down the muddy hill with the jumping dogs. So the fencing basically looked like this, quite ragged. It was actually only 2 strands, some places only 1 strand of electric. It was sagging and visually not particularly nice to look at, and really for our horses especially, who are total escape artists, there was no way it was keeping anything inside. So we have spent tons and tons of money and eons of time doing fencing, and now we knew when we came here that there was a predator alert. We knew that there were wolves in the region. We knew there's also bears, although they're much rarer. We know that there are wild boar, which I'm a big fan of pigs, but I prefer them to stay out of my pastures. And so we knew that fencing was going to be a really big thing that we needed to do. So you've probably seen in some of our videos, we've done lots of upgrading. We can turn the camera this way really quick to look at our stallion area, and you can see we've added wood. We've done some double planking in certain areas. We've been adding more poles, so the poles are not so far apart, so there's more stability to it, all of which is looking really nice. You can see it on that end over there to that part of the farm as well. We've added 3 new clubhouse pastures. We've done zone 2 and zone 1, and so we've done amazing things. We're making amazing progress. However, we do have nearly 50 acres here now, and you can see by this specific lackadaisical fence that we still have a lot of work to do. And the perimeter fence, which is the area that we consider the immediate area around the farm, so it includes the stables, it includes where the goats are, where the chickens are, where all of our primary facilities are, where our van lifers park up, where some of our staff lives. That fencing is a top priority now to get done, because our wolf visitors didn't just come into our summer pastures, which are thankfully currently resting, but they actually came all the way in to our main yard area. And that was quite exciting because we really do love wolves. We're huge fans of wildlife here. But it was also a little bit distressing because obviously we want to exist peacefully with the wildlife, but that means protecting our livestock as well. So why do we need specific type of fencing, which includes the wood, so the planks, and then also this type of mesh reinforcement? The reason for that is because the most ethical and ecologically friendly way for livestock and wildlife to coexist is by using livestock guardian dogs. So we have a Zima, come on! She is our primary farm dog. She is a Kyrgyzstan mix, so that is a Bulgarian livestock guardian dog. But we also have Kangals here on the property. We have 4 of them actually, and the intention was that they would roam the property and keep our perimeter safe so that the wolves will stay on their side and our animals will stay on our side. Unfortunately, our neighbors are really nervous about big dogs. Can't blame them. The dogs are a little bit extra friendly when it comes to humans, and you're likely to get a big hug, which isn't all that appealing if you're not a dog person, which they're not really. And so out of respect for that, we have not utilized our Kangals on our property to do any kind of guarding or deterring or anything, because we want to be really respectful of the neighbors. But when it comes to having wolves potentially coming into our property, especially because we have new foals that are coming this spring, stay tuned for our new breeding series if you're interested in that, we really need to kind of crack down on this fencing problem. We need to get it set up so that our Kangals can safely roam the property without escaping and going and saying hello to our neighbors. That means that we do need a lot more of this mesh fencing, which is what keeps the Kangles in. We're pretty good on electric fencing, so we don't need any more of that. We need lots and lots more planking. And then this pasture where the wolves apparently seem to spend most of their time where they're coming through. This is a 20-acre stretch of pasture that we use during the summers for all of our big herd horses, and it will include the foals. So we're really hoping that if we can get some funds raised, we can get this pasture also done before. Our time frame is about end of April, May. We're hoping to rest the pasture that long. So that's kind of our time frame. This perimeter fence needs to be done yesterday. So, if you have any more questions about fencing, fencing is like, it's the everyday job. And any farmer, anybody with livestock, anybody with animals of any kind, because it's just as bad with our dogs as it is with everything else. Fencing is a never-ending job and a never-ending expense. It does not matter how great and how, expensive your fencing was. I guarantee you that you will still have to fix it, replace it, upgrade it. Some animal somewhere will figure out how to break it or get under it or over it or around it. And so fencing is just this ongoing kind of thorn in your side that if you have a farm, you have to deal with. And so for us, we do currently have an outstanding fencing debt of about 6,000 euros. That's mostly materials, but also our amazing neighbor that does our hay. He also comes and drills all of our holes, so we don't have to do it by hand. And we're so excited to share with you guys that actually we had some clients who were in arrears that came and have paid up all of their in arrears payments. And that means that we are able to pay the hay debt down by 4,000 euros. Woohoo! So that puts us at only 2,000 euros owed on the hay debt, but then now we have to move over to the fencing debt, which he also has with us and is being very patient. So again, that's about a 6,000 euro debt. If you're curious about some of the costs involved in the actual materials here, so one plank is 5 euros per plank, and we're not using crazy expensive wood. It's just kind of your basic planking. It's 4 meters long. And then one 25-meter roll of mesh, it's not this exact mesh, it's a little bit stronger than this, is, let me think for a second. I want to say we did 1,000 meters for 2,000 euros, so it's 50 euros per 25 meters. So that's kind of the basic cost that we're looking at. Of course, there's nails and staples and screws and all of those other incidentals, but the main costs are 5 euros per plank, 50 euros per 25-meter roll. We do have, like I said, about 50 acres that we'd like to get fenced to at least a standard where our Kangles are able to run. So that's the financial picture there. If you would like to donate, as usual, there is a link in our bio. And of course, if you want to subscribe, like, comment, ask questions, the more engagement that you give us, the better, because our socials are now generating a little bit of revenue and we can put all that into our fencing improvements as well. So thank you guys so much for being here, and stay tuned for our next Money Talk series, hopefully next week.
Woohoo!
I brought water this time.
Good job.
I was like, I'm gonna have so many because I want to do Malachi too, and I'm not sure.
Lassie, that might have been half your breathing.
I know. He's terrible.